Have you ever looked at a blue planet and assumed it was safe? 63 light-years from Earth, there is a planet that looks almost identical to ours. Same blue color. Same peaceful glow. But everything about it is a lie. Today on Vortex, you are going to discover why this planet is the most beautiful and most lethal world ever found. You will learn how molten glass rains sideways at 7 times the speed of sound. How its winds never sleep. How its sky is literally made of shattered mirrors. And how this planet is being slowly eaten alive by its own star. This is HD 189733b. And it will permanently change how you see the universe. I'm Michael Alex and this is Vortex. Subscribe and like to see more of this. From 63 light-years away, HD 189733b looks like everything humanity has ever dreamed of finding. A blue world. Vivid, deep, and unmistakable against the black canvas of space. When our telescopes first captured its color, the scientific community leaned forward. Another blue planet. Another Earth candidate. Another reason to hope. That hope is completely wrong. The blue you are seeing has nothing to do with water. There are no oceans here. No clouds carrying rain. No rivers cutting through ancient rock. The entire atmosphere of HD 189733b is packed with silicate particles, the exact same raw material used to manufacture glass here on Earth. What you are actually looking at is starlight scattering through a sky built entirely from shattered microscopic mirrors. The color is an optical illusion on a planetary scale. A costume. A mask that the universe has placed over one of its most violent creations. And the deception runs deeper than color. This planet orbits its star at a distance so dangerously close that one full year, one complete trip around its sun, lasts just 2 Earth days. It is not orbiting a star. It is grazing the surface of a furnace. The atmosphere bakes at over 1000 degrees Celsius. That is not heat. That is punishment. On Earth, a Category 5 hurricane is a catastrophe. Wind speeds reach 300 kilometers per hour and we build museums to document the destruction they leave behind. HD 189733b would not notice a Category 5. The winds on this planet move at 7,000 kilometers per hour. That is Mach 7. 7 times the speed of sound. These are not weather events. They are permanent, planet-wide atmospheric weapons that have been screaming continuously for billions of years without pause, without mercy, and without end. At Mach 7, the friction becomes so extreme that the wind physically tears electrons from the surrounding air. The entire planet becomes a massive electrical generator. Lightning bolts thousands of times more powerful than anything recorded on Earth crack and dance between clouds, not clouds of water vapor, but clouds of molten glass suspended in a burning sky. And then the rain begins. But gravity has no authority here. The winds are too fast. Instead of falling downward, the rain is launched horizontally, millions of tons of boiling molten glass fired sideways across the atmosphere at supersonic speeds. This is not weather. This is a planetary weapon. And it runs every single second of every single day. There is something else happening on HD 189733b that makes its story even darker. The gravitational pull of its star is so overwhelmingly dominant that this planet has completely lost the ability to rotate. It is frozen in place. Locked. Astronomers call this tidal locking, and it divides this world into 2 permanent, irreconcilable halves. One side faces the star forever. Eternal day. Eternal fire. The atmosphere on the day side boils without interruption, churning in an endless cycle of superheated gas and molten silicate. Nothing on the day side cools. Nothing on the day side rests. It is a hemisphere sentenced to burn for the rest of its existence. The other side faces the void forever. Eternal night. The temperature plunges into extreme cold. But do not mistake darkness for safety. When the rivers of molten glass launched from the day side reach the night side's frozen air, they solidify mid-flight. Instantly, the molten rain transforms into jagged, heavy daggers of solid glass, and they fall through the darkness like shattered diamonds raining into an abyss that never sees light. On the day side it rains fire. On the night side it snows knives. There is no safe hemisphere on HD 189733b. HD 189733b is not just violent. It is dying. Every single second, the radiation pouring from its star is stripping the planet's atmosphere layer by layer. Thousands of tons of gas and superheated silicate particles are being ripped away and hurled into space every minute. Over time, this process has created something both beautiful and tragic, a massive glowing blue tail stretching millions of miles behind the planet as it orbits. It looks like a comet, but it is a world bleeding out. Scientists estimate that HD 189733b is losing its atmosphere at a rate it cannot sustain indefinitely. This planet is evaporating. Slowly, over an astronomical timescale, it is being consumed by the very star that gives it that stunning blue color. A sapphire being ground to dust by the gears of the cosmos. And here is what makes this relevant to us. Earth is blue too. And from far enough away, Earth and HD 189733b look almost identical. The difference between a miracle and a death trap is not always visible from a distance. Our pale blue dot is not normal. It is extraordinarily rare. A small, fragile refuge floating in a graveyard of hostile worlds. Protect it like you know what the alternative looks like. You just watched a planet die in real time. A world that looks exactly like home, built entirely to destroy. If this is the kind of content that keeps you thinking long after the video ends, then you already know where you belong. The universe has more secrets like this one. And Vortex is not stopping. Subscribe, because the next discovery will be even harder to look away from.